Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Rayz Dayz, episode 112, the show where I recap my week. Oh, what a week it has been. A very productive week. I got all of my stuff done super early, and one of the things I think that syncs up with me being productive is also kind of ramping up into a bit of mania this week. I could feel it. I could feel it bubbling under my skin, like just being on edge, being just angry in general, but also seeing the tragedy that happened in Texas and seeing how absolutely useless the police are really got me fired up. I signed back up to Twitter. I basically just reinstalled the app on my phone, as it were, and logged into my account because I had the desire to talk shit, and just talking shit on Instagram wasn't enough. I was lighting fires all over the place on Instagram, commenting on every news post, making sure everybody knew my feelings about how the police officers did everything to help the shooter massacre those kids, did everything in their ability to make that situation as horrific as possible, and getting into it with countless people who clearly value guns more than humans. People that defend the police and blame the victims. Absolutely disgusting humans. So that definitely fed into my mania, which last night I spun out. I also, my roommate bought me a box of wine. I did not request it, but was happy to have it. So that fueled my spin, as it were. I don't know, man. I definitely have a lot of problems. And I saw it coming. So at least I'm at a place where I'm aware of what to expect. But when you're in it, it's just, there's nothing that I can do. Like, being aware of it really had no control over. I was doing exactly what I was put on this earth to do, to just flamethrow everything. I'm just so angry, which I'm still angry. But I'm probably maybe coming down from the mania. I don't know where I'm at right now. These episodes are super short. I've just been flying through these episodes because I really just do not feel like recording today. So that's why all these episodes, usually my episodes are like 30 to 40 minutes long, and everything's been closer to 10 minutes. I have been flying through recording these episodes, which is whatever. But I had a very productive week. Put up a bunch of new merch. Like I said, got everything done super early yesterday. Rewatching the Stranger Things. Since the first part of the last season has been released, I wanted to rewatch all the earlier. And by rewatching, I've kind of just had it on in the background while I've been stuck to my phone talking shit. These disgusting politicians who clearly care more about their checks that they get from the NRA than any child that gets slaughtered under their watch. They're responsible for so much death that they just do not care. It's so insane how they come up with these stupid excuses. Like blaming doors. And these people who are like, guns don't kill people, people kill people. It's a mental health issue. It's like, okay, then pass universal health care. Oh, you don't want to do that. So you don't want to, you think it's mental health, but you don't want to do anything to change that. Meanwhile, it can't be mental health because it's not like mental health issues don't exist in every country. Not like every human has the potential for mental health problems. It's just we allow the tools specifically designed to end life to be easily accessible in this country, especially in Texas. Like Greg Abbott can't pat himself on the back hard enough with how easily he's made it for people to not only get guns but to carry them out in public. And the way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. It's like clearly not, because all of the good guys, quote unquote good guys with guns, did nothing actively holding parents back from saving their kids. Just fucking disgusting. So reality has some at fault with my mental health and why I spun out. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's not my first time. Like, I remember in Denver when I would have, you know, sometimes I get drunk and talk shit online. And I remember multiple times where my roommate, Keith, would ask me the next morning, he's like, "Are you okay, dude?" So I just kept hearing his voice in my head this morning when I'm looking at all my tweets and all of my posts on Instagram, which I've taken a lot of them down because it's like, it's just like a madman ranting. Because I was literally a madman ranting online. And it's not like alcohol made me, it pushed me, it definitely cranked the volume up a bit. But even, like, I don't drink anymore in general. It's not I don't drink normally. The only reason I drank is because it's given the alcohol. But I don't buy booze anymore. I don't buy alcohol. I rarely drink anymore. But I know, that's how I know I'm bipolar. Because I know when it's that mania. I know now. I used to just think it's like, man, it's just I just drank too much, and it like I would blame the alcohol. And now I know it's not, because I would have had that same. I was going off on people before I started drinking. It's just once I started drinking, I found a couple new gears. I went harder. So, you know, it's just I have a messed up brain, you know, and maybe next week I'll be talking about how I felt depressed all week and felt like a burden, just an unwanted burden on the universe, which is the other side of it, of the other pole. The other pole, manic, and then I'll go back to depression and then back to manic, and it's just a constant cycle, you know. And even though I'm aware of it, it's like, you know, I can't, like yesterday or 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I was feeling it, like I could feel the mania kind of building because I was on edge and angry. Short fuse, and I drank a bunch of valerian root tea, which calmed me down. You know, I was doing the right things, trying to mitigate the whole situation, trying to level myself out. Coming soon, a new podcast from The Ray Taylor Show, the unofficial Severance recap podcast. Mark leads a team of office workers whose memories have been surgically divided between their work and personal lives. When a mysterious colleague appears outside of work, it begins a journey to discover the truth about their jobs. Join Ray Taylor as he breaks down every episode of Season 1 of the new Apple TV show, Severance. First episode released June 7th. New episodes released every Tuesday. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and YouTube. Go to inspireddisorder.com for links. And then yesterday, because I got all of my work done, didn't have any responsibilities last night, and I wasn't going to drink because it's like I didn't want to wake up this morning hungover and not being able to communicate. Thankfully, not hungover. Definitely a little foggy this morning. But, you know, took my time to wake up, and I've been flying through these recordings of these episodes, so it hasn't really slowed me down there. But I was like, fuck it. Fuck it. And shit happened. So, whatever. Live and learn. We'll see. We'll see. This is my journey, I guess. But a lot of Instagram shit posting. Really have zero tolerance for pro-gun people anymore. I have zero tolerance for pro-cop people anymore. Like, I just do not have any patience for any of that bullshit anymore. And there was a guy on TikTok who I followed a while back. I liked his content, and then he posted something that was pro-gun, and I like a month ago or so. So I unfollowed him because it's like, it's weird how there's like, you know, there's a lot of like left-leaning people, liberal people that are still pro-gun. Right? They're liberal, but they also believe in the Second Amendment, and they have a bunch of guns. And this guy, I just have less and less patience for that stuff. And I saw him post, came across, despite not following him again, but he came up on my For You page on TikTok, and it's about how he's like super pro-gun, Second Amendment guy, but after this thing in Texas, he's like, we need a complete ban on assault rifles. Like having background checks are great, having mental health checks are great, but like you can't, like somebody like Kyle Rittenhouse, which is the example that he gave, would have passed all those things anyway. Like, you can't know what's in somebody's head. A person's mental health can change on a dime, and you can't predict that. So what we need to do is we need to remove the tools that are specifically designed to end life, remove access to those tools, maybe stop manufacturing those tools. Stop allowing people to own them, easily access those tools. So I refollowed him, because what he said made a lot of sense. We need to get rid of that. Like, if you're a hunter, fine. You don't need an assault rifle to hunt. You get a bolt-action rifle, and if you can't hunt with that, if that's not good enough, then you're a shitty hunter. Right? You can have your handguns for your home protection. You can have shotguns for your home protection, but there's no need for assault rifles. And he was saying if there was a ban on assault rifles, he would be the first one. And he's like super experienced. Former military. All for banning assault rifles, and I appreciated that. I shared it on my Instagram, which I never do. I never post other people's content on my Instagram. But as a way to try and connect with other people who are pro-gun, that actually have brains in their head and have sympathy for the fact that this needs to stop. I figured who better to hopefully reach some of those people than somebody that relates to them. So, you know, we'll see. I don't know. I just need to, like, as the news cycle turns into something else, I'll be able to just calm down and take a step away and allow my brain to calm down and allow myself to stop being so manic. And my mood has been so fucked up anyway. I was going to start doing, every Wednesday I review a movie within a franchise, right? So I did, like, recently I did the Rush Hour movies, and I was going to do the Godfather movies because I've never seen I don't know if I've ever seen a Godfather movie. And I know I haven't seen all of them. If I have seen the first one, I know I've seen parts of the first one. And I think I've seen parts, I don't know. But I've never, like, watched it, paid attention to it. And I do want to watch those movies and review them and, you know, because they're classics. But, like, mentally, I had no patience for watching a Godfather movie. Like, sitting down yesterday to watch, or 2 days ago to watch the Godfather movies, I was like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. So I decided instead to watch Bridget Jones's Diary. I was like, I can't do Godfather. I like looking through, like, what's a franchise that I can watch that I like feel that makes me feel happy to watch. And, you know, I came across, I think all 3 of the Bridget Jones movies are on HBO Max. So it was like, perfect. The next 3 weeks, I'm going to watch the, you know, perfect excuse to watch these rom-coms, which I've seen, I think, the first 2 a long, long time ago. So it's, you know, 20 years. Crazy. So Bridget Jones replaced The Godfather. If you wanted a little inside of why I'm reviewing the Bridget Jones, it's because my mental health isn't that great. And there's no way I was going to watch a 3-hour movie about the mob. I'd rather watch a rom-com, an hour-and-a-half rom-com with Renee Zellweger. And now a quick word from our sponsor. Now you can wear the many faces. Original art by Ray Taylor. Select pieces from the ongoing series of abstract ink paintings. All products made with high-quality materials, made right here in the USA. Go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF merch to browse the entire collection and save yourself an extra 10% when you check out by using coupon code RTSTMF. So once again, go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF merch and save 10% when you use coupon code RTSTMF. And now, back to our show. And the Dave finally did the last episode of Dave until season 3 gets released. So a few days ago, or earlier this week, started looking into what new show I was going to do an episode by episode recap, which is what I do Tuesdays. And Ted Lasso isn't coming back until the summer. There's no finite date. There's no locked in date of when that's coming back. But that would be the first show to come back. Squid Game is another one that I do the episode, but that one's not supposed to come out till next year. Dave isn't supposed to be coming out new season until at least the end of this year or early next year. So Ted Lasso is the first one that's going to come back. But in the meantime, I'm going to do Severance. It was between Severance and I think The After Party. I boiled it down to a few shows, and those were the 2. And I think Severance is going to be a fun one to do because it's not a comedy. Right? I'm already doing Ted Lasso and Dave are comedies. And the most difficult one was Squid Game. So this is going to be an hour-long sci-fi, surreal type of a show. I'm looking forward to it. I've already watched the show. I love Severance. And, you know, diving into a show in this way where I break down the show episode by episode makes me pay attention to a TV show in a way I've never done before. Like, really focusing on the characters, really focusing on everything that happens, and really, like, seeing how different shows are written differently. Like, it gave me a completely new perspective on the show Dave, which I love the show, but see how it's not that well written. It's like a lot of the characters are kind of just thrown in and shuffled in, where there's really only the through line is following Dave, which makes sense because the show is named Dave. But still, there's characters there that, you know, it's kind of like there's a lot of storylines with them that kind of just that are just filler almost. But yeah, so I did a prep for Severance, did a little promo, got all the feeds set up. for the new podcast. So starting next Tuesday will be, which I think is June 7th, will be the first episode of Severance. So if you want to subscribe to that, go do that. And just look up Severance Ray Taylor Show on your favorite podcast app or on YouTube. Inspired Disorder on YouTube. Which I don't know, possibly in part with the Severance thing, but also in general, I've had a huge growth with subscribers. So welcome all of the new subscribers. Welcome to my mental breakdown that is the Ray Taylor Show. Rayz Dayz. Tons of new subscribers. So welcome, everybody. Some of the craziest growth I've had over the past few months with this show. And it's great to see. Because it's like it had been very kind of consistent since I started it. Not really seeing much growth, just a consistent number of subscribers. And not until recently have the numbers really exploded. And it's good to see. It's good to see that, you know, I'm not just doing this for nobody. That there's like actually people out there consuming this show. And, you know, feel free to go back and rewatch old episodes. All that stuff is available. I spend a lot of time making that stuff easy to find and browse through on my website, inspireddisorder.com. So huge new numbers with the show, which I'm really happy with. And, yeah, that's been my week. Crazy, manic week. And, you know, hopefully I'll be able to start, hopefully like all this growth leads to hopefully sponsors, just hopefully it leads to income. The shirt I'm wearing, Inspired Disorder shirt, official shirt from Inspired Disorder, got the logo on it, got Inspired Disorder on the back. Go buy some shirts. I'm putting out new merch, new shirts and prints of new artwork every week. New artwork gets released every day. So hopefully that will lead to some income, and hopefully that income will be enough for me to afford health care, specifically mental health care. I definitely need it. I would love to know what it feels like to be normal for once. I only get like tastes of normality here and there. And it's usually in between either a manic or a depressive episode. So I'd love to live a more balanced and normal lifestyle. Would be nice. But anyway, I hope everybody's having a good week. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.